everyone. We've been doing a lot of measuring the length of things. So we've been measuring the length, width, and height this week. Previously we were measuring just the length, how long things were. But when we started measuring, we talked about that there are many different things that you can measure. That you can measure time, that you can measure temperature, you can measure weight, you can measure length, and you can measure capacity. Now capacity means how much something can hold. Okay? We're going to work with measuring capacity today. And I think it's a fun thing to work with. So you're going to need a paper that looks like this. Now I'll put a picture of this in the newsletter so you can either make your own. I'll also put this in a PDF so you can print it out if you want to. So you can print it or make your own, but you'll need a paper like this. Then you'll need to find 4 containers. Okay, so here's my 4 containers right here. And what you'll need to do with your containers is you're going to need to label them with A, B, C, and D. Okay, so I put a little piece of tape on here, and I'm just going to write right on my masking tape, A, B, C, and D. Okay, now my containers are all labeled. Now if you look at your paper, it's going to ask you some questions. Up here at the top it says, which holds more? And then you're going to compare your different containers to see which can hold more. I'm using water to do my measuring. You could also use dry beans or sand if you have a big sandbox. I'm working with water, and I'm using a big bowl of water here, but you could do this right over the sink if you wanted to. Okay, so this is mine. Okay, so the first question says, which holds more, A or B? Okay, so let's see, which holds more, A or B? So I need to find A and B. Here's my B, here's my A. Okay, so which one of these holds more? How do you think I could figure this out? Oh no, what do you think? Let's give it a try. I'm going to fill this one up all the way. Oh, it's hard to fill up all the way, so I might have to get some water in here and get this until it's there. It's exactly filled right to the top. Okay. Now, what should I do with this to figure out if that's more or less water than can fit in my cup A? Okay, let's try pouring this into here and see if that works. So I want to make sure it all goes in. Okay, and I'm going to try and show you. This was filled right to the very top. Now can you see this one? Is it filled to the very tippy top? It's close, but can you see it's like to right there, okay? So right around here. So not quite the very tippy top. So if you had to say which held more, would it be my A or would it be B? Right, my A can hold more. So now I'm going to go on my paper to where it says which can hold more, A or B. And we just said that in my case, A can hold more. So I'm going to put an A on this line right here. Okay. Now, will yours necessarily be the same? Will your A definitely hold more than your B? I don't know. It depends what containers you use. Okay, so yours will look different than mine. They will not be the same. After you compare that one, you're going to go on to measure the next one. So this one says which holds more, B or C. So then I would compare my B or C containers. And then for this one, A or C, A or D, B or D, C or D. And so I'd have to compare all my containers to see which held more in each of those cases. And this is a fun part down at the end. Down at the end, you're going to use all your problem solving skills to try and order your containers from the least to the most. So the one that can hold the least you'll write the letter here. The one that can hold the most, you'll write the letter here. And this will be the second least, right? Third least, so it'll be smallest. Can hold the very least amount. Can hold a little bit more, can hold a little bit more, can hold the most. So you'll have to put them in order from least to most. So you'll just write A, B, C, D. Or it could be any order, right? C, D, A, B. Whatever the order ends up being. But you'll just write the letter here. The letter of the one that can hold the least. This one can hold a little bit more, a little bit more. This one can hold the most. Okay, so you'll use letters to represent those. Okay, so remember to start out with, you'll need to find 4 containers. Now you want your containers to be relatively similar in size so that you can't just tell by looking. Like, let me show you an example. I'll just get out a container here. If I had used this container and I said, which can hold more? Is it hard to tell or easy? Really easy, right? This one obviously can hold more. So get containers that are about the same size. Okay, so 4 containers that are about the same size. I'm really curious to know if my B or C can hold more. So will you help me just give that a try? Let's see. Again, let's fill this one all the way to the tippy top. Okay, so this one is filled as high as it can to the tippy top. I'm gonna pour it into here. Oh, wow. They look the same. This one is filled exactly to the top, just like this one was. So these 2 containers are the same. Gosh, when I looked at them, I didn't think they'd be the same. If you encounter 2 that are the same, so those were my B and C. If you can encounter, like I did, 2 that are the same, see this line here? Do you remember the symbol we can write for when something's equal or the same? The equal sign? You can do this. Okay, equal. Okay, so go ahead, find your 4 containers and label them, and then go ahead and see what their capacity is. Which one has the least amount of capacity, which has the most. When you're comparing them, remember you're looking for which one holds more and write that letter here. Okay, this should be a fun one today. Check with your family about where would be a good spot to do this. You might just work directly in the sink, and that way if any water spills, that's okay. You might notice I brought a towel over with me so that in case I spilled some water, I had a towel right here ready to go, that I could clean it up before it got all over the place. Okay, well, have some fun with this today. I think you'll enjoy measuring capacity. Before we say goodbye, I want you to do one more thing. Will you tell me again what capacity means? That's right, it means how much of something can hold. Okay, bye-bye.